Hi guys, welcome back to a very special episode of Her the Podcast. I am joined by a special guest, Marcus, aka Polo, aka what else do you go by? Charles? What else is it?
No, that's just a joke. Not just Marcus.
Yeah, so this is a very special episode, a conversation with Marcus on entrepreneurship and other things as a creative, as a young millennial creative. So yeah, so this is a very enlightening episode. I just want to pick his brain and see what he's been doing in the DMV area. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate being on the show, and I'm kind of excited to talk a little bit more into some of these different topics. And share with you all some of the things that we got coming up as far as Great Energy Group.
Okay. So what is Great Energy Group? Let's start there.
You want to stay in the loop with Great Energy Group. So put it like this. You ever been to a lit place, like a dope place, where people would that's always complaining about something, or always got a negative mindset? Now it's kind of taking the experience away from everything else because now this person is on that type of time. That's not great energy.
Right.
But you could go to a place where you we just about to take a trip up the street and go to Popeyes, or we about to go to this parking lot or something like
that. Not the one on 8th.
No, we're not going over there. But the point of what I'm saying, you could just be doing some slight stuff with some good people. Like you could be kicking it, a kickback in the house, that little stuff with great people had a time of your life, and that's great energy. That's surrounding yourself with great energy. People who, lift you up and motivate you, inspire you. You should leave the people who you hang around feeling smarter, feeling better, feeling loved, feeling happier, lighter, and that's great energy. And what we do is we strive to create experiences to bring like-minded people with that positive mindset and attitude, bring them together through different experiences, whether that's a brunch and day party, whether that's a yoga event, whether that's late night bottle popping, invite only, sweat your socks off, workout, whatever that is. We just look to bring people together through different mediums, and people of color and black folks especially. So yeah. Okay, so
I've been watching you for a long time. I really love what you're doing, and I would call you an entrepreneur. Would you call yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, it's always hard because you have an idea of what you wanted, but how did it start? Because it's so successful now. You have so many successful events. You have different guests come along. So how did it start? What was the first great energy event or the first great energy experience?
So the first thing that me and my partner Gabby had done was this was when we were working at Park. So I was doing security at the time, and doing security, serving, doing some other things. And she
Park on 14.
Yeah, the Park on 14. She was doing hosting and she ran the bottle service situation and stuff like that. But we had come together and we had came up with Lydia in the City, and we always we wanted something fun, and we wanted something fun, cool, where people can dance. Because I don't know if you know, I've been to
a couple of Lydia in the City events.
I like to cut a rug. Let me tell you something. There ain't no rug in there. I'm gonna pull it in there. I'm gonna cut it. I'm telling you, I love I just love a good time. I love dancing, and then I just think too, as a young black man, sometimes we think that we have to carry this perception or facade of this tough guy experience, and we're not truly able to be ourselves, and that's actually not good for your mental health or just good for your soul overall. So we wanted to do something that was fun, like a brunch and day party, have people come through, turn up, get to dance and get to party and get to vibing, and we did the first one back in July 9th, 2017.
2017, okay.
The very first one was at Red Rocks. It's now called Focus, but it was Red Rocks at the time. And along the way, I've learned so much in different experiences about things that happen in the industry, how certain people work, all of that. But I'm still learning, so it's a journey. So that's cool.
So how was the following then? So with that first event, that first experience, how did you guys build a following? How was the following? How was the turnout?
Well, the turnout was actually if you've been to the venue's pretty large. The turnout went really well. We had a lot of people come. It was basically a sold out event. Well, close to a sold out event for our first one. And that's just because I guess myself and my partner Gabby, we have we have just different networks. We have a large network. We both have large networks individually, but like they're in different spaces. Gabby used to work, heavily within the government with a lot of people in certain spaces and people within nightlife. I meet with basketball, go, but just different community things and events. And we literally got out here, and to build it, we got out here like. And we would walk, like, I wasn't ashamed to like go walk up to strangers and say, hey, how you doing? My name's Marcus. I'd like to invite you to something. And people would be like, get out my face. You crazy. Like, who is this person?
They would say that?
Oh, people would go on you. Like, boy, you whack as hell, boy. Like, I've heard all of that stuff. And the thing about it is you just got to laugh, smile, like, let that one go and get the next play.
Okay.
Like, and that's why I learned in basketball. You got to get the next play. Like, no matter what happens, you get your shot blocked down here. But if you let that, man, he blocking my shot, man, I can't do it, you're not going to move forward no more. So, yeah, that was a big thing. And then also, too, I will say, when I worked at Park, I did security. I talked to everybody. Literally talked to everybody.
Networking.
Yes. And that's a big thing. And there's so many opportunities for people to network and grow any business that they have. Especially if you work in the service industry, you come across people every day who you have to talk to, no matter if you're a server, bartender, security. And I stress this to people all the time, that you literally are in front of people all of the time, and people have to talk to you. And if you have any type of brand, personal business, anything, or you're like in sales, get into the service industry. You can meet so many people and build your business quick. Yeah,
that's actually because I'm not sure if you are familiar with DJ Bre Mafia. I'm actually just interviewed her, and she was saying how, like, I was asking her how she built her following, and she used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings, and she would talk to people at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they a lot of people knew her from her job. From when we used to work there, so like she built the clientele from that, and people would hit her up with the DJ, and I saw you at the such and such spinning for so and so, and that's how she built up her following with that too. So I definitely see where you're going with that one.
And I recommend that so much, because you've gone to places where you're probably saying like, oh, I love that bartender there, I love that server there, and if that person went into a different industry, and then they had all those contacts, you've already built rapport with them. And when you think about that person, you say, they make me feel good. I like interacting with them. I feel better after I've interacted with them. That's great energy. Yeah. I'm telling you.
So, because how do we meet?
Was it Dayon? I think it was Dayon. You might have been interviewing Dayon.
No, I didn't interview him. It was at one of his shows, I think.
Yes, it was his show.
One of his shows, and I think I said hi to you for some. I don't know. I was being random or something like that. But hey, look where we are now. Hey, but okay. So Lydia in the City is an identity under Great Energy Group.
Yes.
So Great Energy is an umbrella.
Great Energy Group is an umbrella. So we provide several different experiences.
Okay.
Lydia in the City is a brunch and day party experience.
Okay.
That's one of our brands. Now we have things like Sweat Your Socks Off. We're working on some partnerships and collaborations with different venues and spaces in DC that are going to allow us to host the Sweat Your Socks Off and yoga events. Okay. So what Sweat Your Socks Off is an event where people come and donate a new fresh pair of socks.
Literally sweat. Okay.
Yeah. They donate a new, not old socks that you wash. No, new fresh pair of socks to the less fortunate, right? Okay. And so they donate those pair of socks. We do a workout. We have a DJ. We have 2 HIIT instructors. People have a good time. The socks go to the less fortunate. But we also do the workouts. We've done it at Blind Wino Now Culture House, Ivy City Smokehouse.
Off New York Ave?
Ivy City Smoke. Yes. Well, no. Exactly. Off New York Ave. Yep. And so we've done it in a couple of different places, and even with yoga, we like to do things like that in unconventional spaces. Reason being is I'm a big component of sometimes in the Black community we put borders up on ourselves, and we don't explore the other side. So sometimes if there's a guy who's never done yoga, and he may have been thinking that, man, that's not really that's kind of soft, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not the thing to do. Naturally, he's never going to step into that realm, but that's not only going to happen in yoga, that's going to happen in other areas of his life where he won't venture to that. And let's say he has kids or other people that he influences. He doesn't have a mindset of go beyond that. He has a mindset of stay within this box. And us, as powerful as we are, we need to branch out and do more things. But we tend to go further when we're together, right? we tend to go further together because things are less scary. We got somebody we ask questions. There's some familiarity in a place that's a little different, right? So yeah, I'm really excited about trying to create those different spaces and doing those things. But yeah.
So how did you think of for Lydia in the City? What made you want to make it into a brunch and day party situation?
Oh yeah, because I want the daytime vibe. Like I want the daytime vibe. I like cookouts. I consider myself like I'm known as an old soul to a lot of my friends, family. Like I'm that uncle at a cookout. I'm hey, what happened, baby? I want come on in here, get some love, get some meat. We getting down. Like I just want to. And that's a big thing. The pandemic messed me up real bad.
The panty was crazy.
Cause I'm gonna get on in here. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna do all of that. And I wasn't able to do that for so long, and that really it really got to me. Yeah, nah, it definitely really got to me. So yeah, that's we wanted. I wanted. That's one of the reasons for doing a brunch and day party. It's like I like the daytime vibes. I love a good day party. I love a good day drinking, and that might have been from, like I said, me and Dale went to school in West Virginia, right?
God bless y'all, because how was that? West Virginia?
Oh, it was a great time.
Oh, it wasn't a racial situation?
Oh, no. So where I went to school called Shepherd University in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. It's about an hour and a half from D.C. Literally, you can walk there from Georgetown. There's a path called the C&O Canal. It'll take you 23 hours to walk. Don't ask me why I looked it up. But yeah, we went. I went there. It was a good time. It's like a small hippie town, right?
I love a hippie situation. Yeah,
it's like very hipster, very like chill, very quiet. It's on the river, on the water. Like not your like racial area, like what everyone would think of West Virginia. So it's very chill. But going to school out there, I was actually throwing parties out there.
Oh wow!
Because I played basketball on scholarship, but I couldn't just go get a part-time job. But yeah, so I was throwing parties out there, and then came back home, and started doing my thing, started doing it back home. But one thing about what
you would have been great at Towson.
Let me tell you something. Oh my goodness, you would
have been great at. You would have hit at Towson.
I can't tell you. Listen, if I would have went to a HBCU, if I would have went to a major school, a bigger school like outside, like I would have been up. But but guys are playing for everything. So I'm like, because I'd be confused. Because when I came home from school, that's a big reason of like doing the events. I came home from school, and one of my boys, he just got drafted into the NFL. So he would go to Krishan Rose, Hollywood Reds.
Oh,
He's a DJ.
Yeah, no way.
In the city. Yeah,
I don't know him, but like
that's my brother. Like we came up in XIB together. Like went to high school together.
Like the Murr.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he went on to ECU's big time football player. Got picked up by the Vikings. But we would go out from time to time. Like we'd go to the club, and like he was like, "Man, come on, I'm gonna go to the club." He know I didn't like that shit. Like he know I didn't like the club. But I would go sometimes when I came back home. I was so excited because I'm like, "Man, I'm about to be around black folks." Like I walked in that joint, and me with my dancing ass like this, all happy. Everybody out that joint real flexed up, mugging, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I'm like, I'm happy to see you, man. I don't even know you, but and the vibe just wasn't it, and it wasn't a place where I was able to connect with people who I had been separated from during my college experience, and like as a growing into a man, like during high school, I was in the go-go scene. I went to McNamara, played ball. Like I was in the mix a little bit. Then college was completely different, and then coming back home, it was just I really needed that vibe and that energy.
So that's why you want to do the day party thing. You weren't into the club stuff.
I wasn't into the club stuff because when I saw nightlife, bottles, like it was it was very spaced out. We weren't communicating, we weren't talking, and when we're doing brunches and day parties, I'm like, it's light out, people brunching. And I'm like, women brunch. Oh, yes, women brunch. Cause
it's giving brunch outfits.
Come on, ladies.
Aesthetic.
Because I'm going to keep it 100 with you. And somebody's going to probably try to take this by watching your podcast. But,
is this exclusive?
Nah, but so Lydia in the City, I always wanted to throw a party called Sundress City. This came to me a long time ago, but I always wanted to do something called Sundress City. And because I'm like, what's better? And I'm thinking, I'm like, what is better than pulling up to a function and all I think about is a cookout and all sundresses. My God. You gonna eat good in that thing. You gonna be sitting up there.
That niggas rolling with him sunglasses.
You gonna be in that thing feeling groovy.
Okay.
And so like that's my vibe, and I wanted something like that. And the closest thing to that with everything, you know, you can do a brunch and day party, and like people are kind of alert versus just nightlife. And nightlife sometimes brings out, you may have a good group of people, you may get some folks that like want to come through and bring the wrong energy, and that's why it's about great energy only.
So do you think that you would ever like change the energy of a club though with your brand? Like you said that you didn't want to do like the club thing because of how you felt about it, but do you think that you could maybe change that if you want to focus on clubs? I know you focus on day parties and stuff, but I feel like I've been to a few of your day parties and it turns into a club thing like because it goes into the nighttime. But like, do you think that you could like change that though if you aimed it at the club experience? You think you can change that?
So we do some nightlife events, and honestly, with our experience, we do club stuff. We do club stuff, but also this is a big thing because there are people who like, and trust me, I like if I go out sometimes after doing like, I don't mind bottle service, having my people, but it's about the energy in the space. Now, there's certain people that want bottle service, but if you come to our events, you look at the bottle service section, look at the floor, look at the bar, look at it. People are having a good time and communicating in all of those sectors, and that's what matters. Now, if we're just doing bottle service alone, then I'm not doing my job, because I need people to come out. I need people to come to meet. I need people to come to communicate. And so I feel as though we are doing that in our space by providing bottle service and doing things. By doing the club-like thing, which is giving some people that aspect, but they're seeing this level of love and peace in the club and this level of communication amongst our people and people of color that they haven't seen before. And that's what's important to me. That's the big part, because like even if in this general area, like black men don't speak to each other enough. It's just natural. Like we don't know. Like we walk by somebody, say what's up. I'm like, what's up? What's up? That can turn, like somebody could be like, man, what's up? You be like happy, and somebody else like, man, what's up? Like, what you talking about? Ain't sweet, like, you know what I mean? And just going in different areas. Like if you go to Atlanta, like guys down there, you know what I'm saying? It's like even dudes like, man, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the dreads, like bullshit like that. I fuck with the fit, like I'm like, damn, bro, appreciate that. And but I really I love black men need to be able to express love to each other without that seeming suspect or something of the nature. But because that is how we unify as a community, as a people. We need to be able to come together, communicate, and talk to one another.
Yeah, I'm glad that you. I love how you as a black man can really express that. Like I feel like we need more people like you to really openly express that, because it's just a weird stigma. It's weird. I don't know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a thing, because I mean, it's deeper than rap. Like it's in media. It's in a lot of things that tries to press us out and put us in a space where we got to get it on our own and can't trust another and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, if we really came together, people, I'm like, yo, what we can accomplish and take over and do, it's crazy. But it's hard to. You can't do it all by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You can do it for yourself, but not by yourself. And yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I want to know, how did you build relationships when it comes to these different venues?
See an opportunity. So a big part of it too is it's your resume as well. So when it came to the park situation, I was already I had worked there in several different positions. So a lot of people come in and be like, yo, I'm just trying to throw a party. But I'm like, yo, you should probably start at security. Because if you start at the bottom, then you understand how people work, how people talk, how people move, how people finesse, how people lie, how people have fun, you understand the psych. If I work security, serving, bartending, this, that, and the third, and I just do a little bit of each bar back, I understand. Okay, I understand what the staff has to deal with. I understand what the customer wants. I understand there's issues and times where somebody may want this or that, or somebody may say, oh yeah, no, I was cool with security, and security told me, no, this person was an asshole. When that person was at the door, and they were like rude, whatever the case is. Like, I think it's important that people kind of go through those steps because your question was building a network, right?
Like, how did
no, I build it, no, with the different venues. Yeah. So being able to being able to say, hey, I worked with this venue, I worked in these different positions, so I know these things. And then also too, when I go to say with different venues, after doing some of it, like the first Lydia in the city, and then bunch were at Park, because at Park we went to prove, like we worked at Park, but did it at another spot to say, listen, I know we can do this. And I told the other spot, I'm like, I know I can guarantee this. I was certain I can bring in a minimum of 500 people.
So you presented a portfolio, if you will, to different venues. Because right now we're at Law Society right now, right?
Yes.
So like, how did you, like, so you present, like, you put up to like a presentation together? Like, how would someone present themselves to a venue?
So, and it depends on what the goal is. Like, so this is the thing. If you're trying to do an event, like if you're trying to do one event, you can talk to a venue, and a venue may say, you may do a rental fee. You may go through that stuff, go through those steps. But if you want to promote parties, throw parties, partner with the venue, do those things, you have to build a resume of saying, okay, I can show you how many people I bring through, how many events I've done, how many people came to each event, what the bar sales are roughly, what's the median average, what these things look like, and I can show you X, Y, and Z. And then you also have to be able to have a reputation. The people want to know, like, they're going to want to see your socials. They're going to want to see the other things. They're going to ask a bunch of different people, like, you heard of them? You know this guy? You know this guy? They're going to ask everybody, and they say.
So how would you professionally get, because, you know, a lot of times, like, when people just think that, oh, it's easy to be an entrepreneur, people, when the word entrepreneur comes out, I feel like people don't really take it seriously. They think, oh, it's just him just being, like, just being free and not, you know, whatever. But it still takes, a business people are entrepreneurs. It takes it takes a certain amount of professionalism. So, like, you know, you have to just, like, make sure that you build a portfolio. I guess. So, like, how do you present it? Like, make sure you have a good email etiquette, good, you know, communication, and present yourself well as well.
And that's important. But I will say this, and this is the one thing I'll say, and this is the thing about this industry, because I'm still getting that together. Because the like admin side, we are currently like hiring for admin, because there's a lot of things you have to do in person. There's a lot of things on the back end. But like dealing with people in person, it takes on a lot. And then having to set up the email, do the Instagram, do this, do that, make your contract right, make your money. Doing all these things and staffing, all of those things take a lot of time. So I will say is having a portfolio makes sense. But let me tell you something. If you can put the butts in seats, and you put the right butts in seats, all that other stuff comes together. Because I've worked with some folks who have been, and I loved how professional they were. I loved how they had everything down to the T. And they did everything so corporate-like. Because I've worked in the corporate world, but then I've worked in this industry, two completely different worlds. Now, I've had people come to me with the whole proposal, hold this, hold that, this, that, and the third. And it looked good on paper, and it was easy, it was clean, and this and that. And then we get to the event, I'm like, all right, bet. And it's like, where the people at? Where's it this at? How are you going to do it? And they know nothing of actual people and the industry and how things work. So, yes, focus on having just have your brand, your socials together, this how many events we've done, this how many people we brought out, this is what we did, this and there, and then know what, with a venue saying, okay, hey, if you all are open to this night or this day or this time, or this is when we would like to do our event, this is what we would like in exchange for this. And this is what we expect to bring. So I'm telling you ahead of time, I can guarantee you we will bring 500 people. You can guarantee that. Now, if you can guarantee that and back that up, then it's kind of like, okay, cool, let's do some more business. But the portfolio stuff, all of that, it only matters when you can back that up. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So how did you build your partnership with Law Society? Did you want to talk about that?
So
because it's really beautiful in here. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a dope spot, and we're constantly making some upgrades and changes. But it's amazing. So it's one of those things where I'm a type of person, so I like to jog in the city.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I'm big in I'm in the fitness.
You're in the fitness, but I didn't know you like to jog.
Oh, that's like my jam. Like city jogs at night, like great stuff. It's a great like mentally, like my mind can just like roam, wonder. I get to see things. I get to like kind of like visualize things. Like, oh, I can see that. And I can see this, and so. I'll do that or just go walking in the city sometimes on certain nights and just look at places. And so what I would do is I'll go to certain places. I'm like, hey, they're not open. And I'm like, why are they not open on a Saturday, or why are you not open on a Sunday? Like, the location is right, the venue is right, the this and that, all this stuff is right. Like, okay, well, if you all aren't doing anything, do you mind if I come do something? If I can guarantee that I can bring in at minimum this, and if I bring this back, can you all give me this back? So that's kind of how Law Society got started. I noticed I was like, y'all not open on Sundays? And I'm like, cause I like the place, and I'm like, hold on, y'all don't do bottle service? I'm like, hold on, what else y'all don't do this, do that? And I was like, okay, cool, let's do something over here.
Okay. And
just essentially presented the idea and said, I know that I have the value that I can bring. I know how I can do it. I see the vision of how it will work. And it's having to be able to see things that aren't there, because some people like want people want to go throw parties at the most popping place. It's already popping, everybody knows about. But can you take a place that nobody knows about and the place also hasn't even seen themselves as that type of place, and say, okay, I know how this could work and that could work within their budget, within their space, and how can the people flow with it, and doing things like that. So it was just an idea and just something I'll present it.
Okay, we'll see how that pans out in the future.
Yeah.
What was your major in college?
Psychology. Yes.
Okay. So how do you think that helped you?
Oh, I pay attention to the way people tick. Like I even did my senior thesis on like BPMs and like it was like what the music and music in stores, like the background music the stores play, and kind of how like the type of music has an effect on your shopping pattern and like the BPMs and things that they play. But like I'm big into like people can say whatever they want, but like ticks, habits, those little things can show you outcomes. Like 2 + 2 = 4, no matter which way you put it, right? And so people have certain like I said, ticks and habits. They can kind of like steer you or direct you in certain ways. And so I pay attention to people's vibes, people's energies. What are people asking for? What do people want? What do people yearn for? And how can I package that and put that into an experience?
I think music and the vibe really like controls the narrative for sure. Like even in movies, like you don't know how to feel unless the music starts to play.
Yeah, and it's even things such as like, I mean, like I said, I've worked in several different positions. Like I've worked security, bar packing, to serve it, all of those. Like I even did bottle service for a little. Like I'm telling you,
bottle service.
I'm telling you, because listen.
That means you had a bar license?
No, I have a bar license now. But like when I was doing like actually, you know how the ladies come out doing bottles. I wasn't wearing like the bottle service.
You was giving shirtless?
It was not giving that. It was giving slacks and a black shirt, black tie, sleeves rolled up. But like I knew when it was a group of ladies celebrating a birthday, I knew I could turn them up, make sure everybody's partying and having a good time. Like,
and you're nice to look at.
Thank you. But like, nah, it's those things that like really made the kind of really made the party, and like but it helped me understand people, and helped me understand like, okay, well, on her birthday, the birthday girl, why is she upset? Or okay, so the birthday girl ain't really want to come, but it's her friend who's really taking over the birthday. Or you just see certain things about certain people in certain places, and then you understand when you're creating the experience, you have all of those people and things in mind. You got the people, okay, I know they're going to like this, and they're going, okay, they're not going to like that. Okay, she don't want to, you're going to have to put them in the back and put them next to it. And you understand, and when you do that, it's literally creating and crafting an experience. It's those little details, not just like, oh man, it's lit, this person coming out and that person coming out. Yeah. So essentially, like I was saying, doing bottle service, doing all that type of stuff, it helped me learn about people and about their experience overall. Doing like serving, from even like, you know, doing serving during like dinner and different things like that. it helped me understand like different groups of people, why people were coming out, what they were coming to celebrate, who was there but didn't feel like being there, and if I could, could I change their experience in any way? How to make someone come back and stick as a regular, like how to, like, and those are all things that just kind of drive people's experiences, and it creates them promoting for you because they love the experience, they love what they're getting. So yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it's very successful. Your Great Energy brand is very successful. Lydia in the City is fire. So like, do you think that you would want to branch off more, or like what other plans do you have? Because I feel like you have the social thing down pat. So what else would you want to do with your brand?
So with Great Energy Group, I'm excited because we're rolling out a lot of apparel.
Okay.
Because I want people.
Oh yeah, that shit is.
And so we got so many designs and a lot. Like we have so many designs, and the one of the designers we work with is absolutely amazing. And like even I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I made a few little designs.
You do cute little flies or whatever. I wish I could help you too, because I don't got enough time, because I'm over here editing and designing the podcast.
I'm not mad at it, but I'm telling like. I'm excited for our apparel because one thing is, I believe our experience doesn't stop at a party, doesn't stop at a personal experience, doesn't stop at an event. I want people to surround and wrap themselves in great energy. I want you to get up in the morning, and great energy is getting up and understanding like, yo, I'm gonna be my best self, and I only want to accept the best energy around me and people who want me to be my best self. And I want to pour into somebody else's cup, and I want them to pour into mine. And if we can do that in the world, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I'm excited for people to be able to wear the Great Energy Group brand, Great Energy only, as well as Lydia in the City is looking to pop up in a few different cities 2022.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to hear.
We're excited about that. I'm just looking to like meet and vibe and just kind of create an experience for just like dope black folks who just kind of want to just dance and have a good time and meet and connect. So those are some things. We're also breaking into a few other areas where we're actually excited about. So we'll discuss more of that soon as that comes out. But I'm just really excited about the events that we have scheduled for 2022. We even partner with a black traveling company, Adventure in Black, where Courtney does an amazing job of like planning trips, going to Mexico, Dubai, Egypt, Thailand, Brazil, Paris, all in 2022. And we want people to travel with great energy. It's about finding a tribe and being able to make new friends and meet new people. Whether it be an intimate relationship or a platonic relationship, being able to surround yourself with the right people.
Intimate. Oh, so it's giving like speed dating or dating situation. Is it? Oh, wait. So you're giving like dating matchmaker?
So that's one of the reasons why I actually went into psychology, because I wanted to do marriage counseling and sex therapy.
Oh.
Yes. It's like my biggest thing. I used to hook a lot of people up and talk to people about their relationships.
Really?
In school, yeah, I was always that guy. But like, because I just want people to be able to be together. I like throwing the assist. I like to, hey, you know what I'm saying? You should done. Yeah, you know that. I love doing that. So I feel like I'm happy because I feel like I'm doing that on a larger scale with the events, and that's why I love the great energy aspect about what we do. Because I've seen people get engaged at Lydia. I've seen people, I've seen people propose. I've met people who like, I met Shorty here, or like they met their business partner here, and stuff like that. So like, yeah.
Okay. Before we close out, you had what's his name? What's Tyler here? Actor. You had
Tyler LaPlay.
You had him at one of the Lydia. You had at one of the Lydia in the City events. How'd that happen?
It came through my boy Jalen. Jay makes plays. So Jay is he's like an artist manager essentially.
Okay.
And he has connections with the right people, but like I know Jay from back when we came up together playing basketball, doing all that stuff from the area. But he understands, and he used to work with me in the industry and stuff like that. Like that's bro. But he understands the vibe and the energy. Like a lot of people know I don't do like we don't do like hosts. Like we don't do a lot of like hosts or like rappers or stuff like that, because doesn't really fit our brand. People come for each other, not to come and stare at like, ooh, look at that guy that I've always seen. Like, nah, come here and party, boy. Is she fine as hell standing next to you? You over here staring at that man? Like, you better hop on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it was a situation where he was like, you know what? I think this works for your brand. It's coming to DC. You know, I think this can work. Let's work this out. Let's do a little something that works for everybody. And he set that up. Tyler came through. Tyler actually had a great time. Was just a great person, and that's what I like too. He wasn't a host because we don't do it. That sits back in the corner in the section, not talking to nobody. He was out there, giving hugs, taking pictures, just having a good time with people, and that's what it's about. I just now it's a space for. I want like black celebs, like who have great energy. Like this is a space for you too. Like you don't even if you ain't got
a space for you too. You know they don't hurt the podcast. And this is a space for you too, right where he's sitting at. It's a space here for you.
I'm telling you, like even if you don't want to, essentially like go out there and like host the thing, or you just looking for a vibe. If you just need some love, if you need a hug, you need something like that. Come through. The Great Energy Group is going to take care of you each and every time.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for
this special conversation. Where can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Polo. Follow the brand at Lydia in the City Tour and at Great Energy Group.
And that's on Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Heard the Podcast. I'm Danny, and you can follow Heard the Podcast at HERD the Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms. You can also hit us up on YouTube, HER_Z the Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. All right. We out.